Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. Thursday. Hey. Oh my gosh, this was a very hard day. So just like, it was super stressful at work and also, got a lot of stuff to do. As you might know, just returned from holidays and the week after being on vacation and you return back to work, there's always like, a lot of stuff to do, even if it's just for a week or so. It's just insane. Hey, good to see you all. Nabil, yo, hallo zusammen. Super Corin. Yannick, hey. Adrian, hey guys, good to meet you again. I'm really excited for like another live stream talk with you. More and more people are jumping in. Khaled, Debois, hey, Linux Rambo, hey. What a great name. Linux Rambo. Matze, moin Volks. Hey. Love German people here, apparently. But yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, I thought this week we just do, a lazy HomeLab Talk. So that's always, if you see like, hey, I'm doing a HomeLab Q&A, you can be sure I've not came up with any content idea for this live stream this week. So it's just random talk. But hey, anyway, I mean, I've got a few topics we can talk about. I mean, obviously, like, how was vacation and how stressed it is to go back to work. But anyway, we can also talk about some tech stuff if you like. So yeah, if you have questions, just put it in the chat. Please make sure it's in English. I mean, you can ask German questions, but it's like I really like to respond to you in English, because then everyone in the live stream has something about it. So but life. So what? Nabil says, I have exams coming up, but life is more important. Oh, really, man? I don't want to interrupt you from work. I thought you were just watching this as in your free time, but hey, or if you are on work, but at work, but you really have nothing to do, then you can watch the live stream. So that's fine. Adrian, thanks. Thanks you translated it. Yeah, I got it. No worries. But just say it next time. So it's okay. Do you have a tutorial for secure Docker registry? I don't think so. No. I think I haven't made a tutorial how to create your own Docker registry or anything like this. I mean, would be a nice idea, but honestly, I didn't have much use for my own personal Docker registry yet. I always just use Docker Hub for everything. And to me, that felt more or less secure enough. I don't know. I mean, I know you can host your own Docker registry somewhere if you like, but I haven't really looked into it. And honestly, it wouldn't be much high my priority list, because it's like there are so many other projects I just have to do. By the way, projects and to do is something I really struggled with a lot the last, I don't know, probably the last months. I want to be fully honest with you guys. So I really have the feeling that I didn't invest much time in my HomeLab projects as I wanted for like the last half year. Maybe it's even longer. I can't remember. Because all of this, like managing the channel, doing my main job, it's just it's sucking out my energy, so to speak, right? It's I'm feeling so exhausted and got really not much time left for my projects. And I just thought about it the last days, because I was preparing some videos for like, hey, what's gonna be the topic for like the next few weeks videos, and I just realized, man, I need to come up with better ideas. And part of it was that, I mean, if you don't invest much time in your home lab, you don't come up with many original ideas, right? I mean, there is not much you're doing here and you're learning. It's always just like I could recycle the old content stuff that I've done, which I tried with some of my Docker courses, but honestly, the more and more I'm thinking about it, the more and more I'm feeling worried about if that's really the right path to go, or if I should focus a bit more on some different topics, more on like getting excited about projects again and just filming. So the process, right? I might talk about this during this live stream if you like, because I like to share and being honest with you guys. I just don't want to let everybody down because I planned it as some sort of Q&A live stream and want to go through some of the questions. But yeah, that's really, I'm going through some rough times on YouTube, to be honest. It's not always easy. It's not just like you make a video and you're doing this for quite a while and then you know how it works. It's like you always need to learn something and reflect and optimize the strategies. And it's always like you never really know that you don't really feel you have mastered the craft of YouTube. It's always changing. And it's, for me currently, it feels really challenging, especially at the time where we have like social media and reels and TikToks and blah, blah, blah. It's always something new. You need to find out what is your place in this content creation space. Yeah, I think like I focused a bit too much worrying about all those things instead of having fun with my projects. Yeah, that's just the honest truth. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, that's what I'm planning to change in the next weeks. I mean, I still have a couple of projects and deals with brands that I just need to go through and fulfill the contracts that I've signed. But after that, I will probably shift the strategy a bit and doing more HomeLab projects again. Something more that I personally enjoy. Oh, thanks for your support. Continue for €1. Thank you so much. It's always, every euro helps, to be honest. This is really, thanks guys for all your support. Okay, so, well, Super Corin says, I was planning to go to bed early today, but then your stream announcement popped up, so I opened a beer and waited. This is amazing. Really cool. What beer are you drinking? I mean, not that I could tell, because I don't drink beer myself. I know, as a German guy, you don't drink beer. I heard it 1,000 times, so don't tell me. But yeah. I'm from Australia, but I know some German. Cool, yeah. Then you're definitely here at the right place, bro. Okay, so, do you have a full-time job? How do you manage time? That's a pretty good question. Yes, I have a full-time job. And how do I manage time? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I kind of have, like, came up with some strategies to avoid stupid mistakes that I did in the past. And the truth is, like, I'm a very chaotic person in private life. And that doesn't fit well with a strategy like this. Yeah, having a full-time job plus running a YouTube channel doesn't work out well if you're not organized. So I needed to learn it. I needed to go through some hard learnings, and yeah. What I do most of the time is like being organized, of writing everything down, planning everything ahead of time, right? I mean, very, very far ahead, especially with your projects and what you have to do, and use every single hour that you have, and don't try to burn out. That's my strategy. I think it didn't work well, given the stress that I'm feeling right now. But hey, I mean, as long as it makes fun, as long as I'm financially compensated for it, which is the case right now, so I can't complain too much about that, I'm fine. So I'm somehow managing it But yeah, obviously, I mean, what I can say is I got a lot of support from my wife because she's taking care of a lot of things at home, because otherwise I would be totally lost. So without her support, like taking care of our son, yeah, tidying up the room, whatever, like everything that she's doing, without her, I couldn't manage this. No way, no way. Linux Rambo, unfortunately, I'm COVID positive, and so I have time to play with my computer systems. Oh my gosh, bless you. I hope you feel better soon and you have a fast recovery. I think I should start with configuring the filter rules of the router. Yeah, I mean, whatever feels right to you. I can tell you, if you start this journey, you never run out of projects. In a HomeLab, you will never run out of ideas. And this is so great, because some YouTubers that might complain about, oh, I have no idea for a video. Trust me, if you're into tech and HomeLab, you always got ideas. You probably have too many ideas and not enough time to make a video about each and every idea. Do we look in community HomeLabs today? Yannick, not today. Not HomeLabs today. I was planning to maybe look at some of the Discord help needed cases. Maybe we can do that if we have time. But we will see. Why did you learn a real programming language? What? What is a real programming language in your opinion? One of your videos actually helped me in my own HomeLab. Oh, cool, yeah. Well, that's the whole reason why I'm making those videos, yeah, to share all the stupid mistakes that I did, and hopefully you can learn from some of them. Could you help me out, as I have an interview coming up and I don't know what story to come up with since I haven't worked on a Kubernetes project? What? Well, that's a weird question. I mean, you have an interview coming up, but you don't know what story to come up with? I mean, I give you the most honest answer I can give you on that, and is be honest. Don't make up something. Don't come up with a story that you haven't achieved or that you have done yourself, even if it's being brutally honest and just saying, hey, I've been interested in this and this and that. These are my plans. I haven't achieved much there, but hey, don't try to come up with something that you haven't really done. Don't lie. That's throughout my entire career in IT, that has always been worked the best. No matter if I was talking to customers or talking to people within the organization, being honest is one of the most important things there. Even though it might seem a bit stupid and ridiculous sometimes to being fully open and transparent, but it's not about like, and I can tell you this because I've worked for many, many years in IT support, also defending sometimes stupid decisions the company made and trying to explain it to a customer. It's not about lying, right? It's about framing. So you always can make something sound a little more positive than it actually is, but you should never lie, right? Never lie to a customer. Not to anybody. I mean, it's gonna bring you to hell very soon. Trust me. Okay. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna read through some of the other questions. Supercoin. Christian, do you think it's hurting your channel if you make a good informative video that helps a few people, but is below average views, etc.? Whoa, this is a really tough question. I was not expecting that, but honestly, I thought about this for a long, long time. Recently, especially. And my honest answer to this will be yes. It's at some point it's definitely hurting your channel. And it's a bit like, I know this is probably against like most of the other tech creator strategies that I see out there, because I know a bunch of tech channels that are on YouTube and they just, sometimes it feels like they randomly turn on their camera and they start talking about something that they have accomplished and, oh yeah, it sounds like a cool thing and so on. This has never been my strategy, to be honest. I mean, Probably not in the beginning. In the beginning, I just try to see what works. But as I've learned from YouTube, is you need to be very strategic with your decisions. Sometimes you might get lucky and throw out a video that might not be very popular, but it turns out to be a hit and it's gonna be good, yeah. But in most of the cases, you actually can predict if a video is working well or not, depending on if you really think about it and really do a good analysis of what is the topic, what is the target audience, so what is the plan. And I know this might sound a bit I don't know. It's gonna be. Some people don't take this like as a positive thing, right? But I get a lot of questions for some very, very specific video topics. Like just recently, somebody asked in one of the comments of the videos, like if I could create a video about showing how to set up traffic with a DNS challenge on Cloudflare and how to do like wildcard certificates. And if you think, well, yeah, sure, I mean, why not? I could make an interesting video about how to configure wildcard certificates in traffic on Cloudflare. Sure, you can do that. But the question is that really appealing to like a broad audience? And that is really the problem you have. You always need to find that balance in where it shouldn't be like this general thing, general topic, like not too much generalized, but also it shouldn't be too specific. You need to find that sweet spot in where you are. And the truth is that if you start on YouTube, you can cover very, very specific things because that's increasing your chances as a small channel to show up in the feed because you're not competing with the bigger channels in your space. But once your channel gets bigger, you're ready to take on some more generalized topics more and more because you just have that established audience. That doesn't really mean that you can do anything you like. So if you still don't do great videos, they won't work. But as the channel grows, I would say that you need to focus a bit more on videos that appeal to a larger audience. So that is what I have to say. And this is like, if you don't make this switch in your head, it's probably gonna hurt you if you just try to do a video about every single topic you came across. So that's what I try to avoid. So I really try to find out, so what are the... And also, from a community perspective, I think it is also the best decision for the community, because obviously I might do a few videos that help like a bunch of people. Okay, great. But what I really want to do is making videos that help like more people, right? To just help more people achieving something. And that's obviously where you also have to generalize more. That's just the truth. Oh, there's so many great questions here. So, okay, so your bad decisions were not bad as you think. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Probably you just see it in the end, right? Sometimes you need to wait until your decisions pay out or don't pay out. It's depending. What else do you do other than IT? Maybe something like watching movies, swimming. What else? Linux Rambo. Well, the truth is, there is not much in my life other than tech and working and family, yeah. But apart from that, there's not much. There's not much there. So maybe that's also my secret as to how I'm organizing my time. Well, the truth is, I don't invest much time into anything else, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, at least as long as it makes me happy, I think it's a good thing. But yeah, that's the reason why I thought I need to shift the strategy a bit and focus a bit more on working on my projects. So tasks that really make fun, right? And not just make a video about something because a brand wants me to cover their new product XYZ. This is like, One thing I noticed is that you use Kubernetes a lot, and I don't like using Kubernetes. That's so. What a start! It's more configuration than I would like for my HomeLab, so I tend to stop watching. Yeah, I know. Kubernetes is really... Kubernetes is such a topic. A topic that if you focus on it too much, that it will hurt your channel. And this is, that's actually one of those very hard decisions I needed to make, because I would love to make more videos about Kubernetes and tutorials and things. But it actually would hurt my channel if I do so, because I know that Kubernetes is not appealing to so many people. So my strategy is, I'm doing like two things, right? I will cover Kubernetes when there is something new, when there is something interesting that might appeal to a larger group of people. But I know for sure that I will never make videos on very Kubernetes-specific topics again. Yeah, only if it is really something interesting that is appealing to more people. Started free. Maxim Dunin started free Nginx project, which will be maintained by the community. What do you think about that? Honestly, never heard about it. I would need to have a look. Is it okay to write is completed AZ Azure DevOps, as DevOps is a version of Arja? Any suggestions? Oh, you need to be Arya Vishnu. You need to be more specific about that. I didn't get what you're actually looking for, to be honest. I'm sorry. Hey, Christoph. Hey, how are you doing? The Apple Geek. Hi. Hey, the Apple Geek. This is a nice name. Apple fanboys. Woo! I'm gonna make all the Linux people angry. But hey, what I found out, and this is to be quite a funny observation that I recently had, is like most of the Linux fanboys, they are okay with macOS. They hate Windows more. They just hate Windows more. So that's why I don't get so much hate anymore from Linux guys, because I'm using macOS and they say like, yeah, macOS. I don't like Apple, but hey, Windows is, Microsoft is worse. So that's probably like the reason why Linux people are more okay with my content recently, because I'm not showing Windows anymore. I don't know if that's really the case, but it's my assumption at least. I have a question from Don Don. You made a video about how to use NFS shares as Docker volumes, but don't all advantages also apply to bind mounts? I would argue that bind mounts are superior when fresh installing. And keep up the good work. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I do. Well, the reason why I'm using NFS shares for my Docker volumes is simply because I'm a crazy dude and I often like destroy containers. I migrate them over to other servers because I feel like, okay, I probably should like copy this and move it somewhere else and try it something. And I found the NFS share to be the most reliable storage for container data, because with bind mounts I would have to move it from one server to another, and it's annoying. So, and also the next advantage is that the NFS shares are usually part of my storage server, which is running ZFS. So if for whatever reason I need to restore just a particular file or just a single database within one single container or something like that, I could just easily go to Snapshot and recover it. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing it this way. Christian, are you planning to do stuff using NixOS in the HomeLab? Not yet. I mean, it's still on my list to take a look, but it's not the highest in my priority list, to be honest. It's just a Linux distro, right? It's like... I don't know. I mean, I have it on my list. I probably will take a look at it at some point, but don't expect this to happen in the next weeks. But yeah, I would love to, really, because I hear that from so many people that NixOS is really great, and I mean, on a paper it does sound great, but who knows? I've not tried it out myself, so probably need to invest some time and spend some time playing around with it, and then you're gonna see a video. But again, it's I don't know. It's on my video ideas list. What is your full-time job, if you don't mind telling us about it? Well, I don't mind. So I'm working as a tech account manager in a cybersecurity company, which is called Sophos. So that's my main job. technically. I mean, realistically, I'm doing a bunch of other things for Sophos, like content creation, project work, and whatnot. It's crazy. They use me for whatever they think might be useful, which is, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's okay because then I can switch and swap between topics, and being somewhat creative but also technical, it's kind of like a good thing. And they pay me good, so I'm happy with it. We will see how that goes. Have you made a decision on your most recent community post about traffic? Nightmare. Yeah, good question. Actually, this is like one of those videos where I'm really worried about. If I make it, it won't appeal to most people. But on the other hand, I mean, I've covered traffic so many times in my videos, and I know large groups of the audience here, of you guys, are using traffic. So why not cover it? It's such an important thing, right? And I feel like it will cause a lot of frustration within our community using traffic if I don't make a video about it, right? So that's really the reason. So I will do it. Just need some more time for preparation work and first finish other projects, but then I will do it. Whoa, I can't keep up with all of the questions. I'm so sorry. Do it on a secondary channel? You mean like the other videos? Well, the truth is, Christoph, running a second channel is a hell different beast. I mean, I barely can keep up with the work that I have to do for this channel. So if I would be a full-time content creator, I probably would start a secondary channel and talking a bit more about my day-to-day life and things that happen here and there, and maybe also some other topics, maybe YouTube and whatnot. But realistically, I only have time for one thing, and I'm gonna invest it into what makes the most money. I mean, I'm so sorry, but it's like, I'm brutally honest to you guys here. So if you do this, you want to get compensated for it, and I think like I probably doesn't. Most of the YouTubers don't tell you the truth, because every YouTuber is saying, "Oh, I just do it for fun. I do it for the community." Yeah, this is true, but it is only like the half of the truth, right? Because the way I see it, I'm a family dad, so I have a family I need to take care of. Need to take responsibility of my wife and my son. I have a main job, so I have very limited time, and I still have the goal to help people and to make great videos that where I can share my knowledge and all of this stuff. This is true. But if I'm going to invest that time, I want to be compensated for it. I'm sorry. And that's how I see it. So the strategy that I'm doing is, so how can I make good content that is helping as many people as possible, but at the same time getting something back in return? And that's the whole reason why I'm focusing on this project, because I feel like, okay, so HomeLab is something where many people in IT are struggling with, and this is where I want to be someone like who is as an advisor, or as I don't like the word guru, but like more like an influencer type of influential source where you can come and see where it goes. But if I would be a full-time content creator and I would have some spare time left for a second channel, I would probably do it. But it's like, yeah, as you said, YouTube algorithm is brutal. It's gonna kill you if you don't make the right decisions. And it doesn't matter how big your channel is. Yeah. But yeah, it's true, right? It's like the same for a second channel as well. The question really is then, so if I make a video on a second channel just because I don't want to get hit by the YouTube algorithm, so what is the reason why the hell I'm doing it anyway? So it's like, so that's like the I think like the direction needs to be somewhat differently, and that's the reason why I decided, hey, some of the next projects I'm doing here on this main channel, they will become a bit more like personal storytelling about what I'm trying, what is the progress. So I hope to film some footage about I don't know, my first impressions of something or some of the struggles I'm going through. I think this is not just for me interesting, it's also interesting for you guys. So that's really, and then I can show you a bit besides like this pure educational tutorial style video and be a bit more entertaining and exciting. So that's at least the idea. I hope that I can do that, but yeah, we will see. But I try to combine both of these like desires that I have, like sharing my knowledge, but also sharing some other personal stuff and so on. And yeah, that's the plan. Honestly, I don't know where I left. I was completely confused by some of the other responses here. I need to find where I left. Let me sure. How much of your home lab do you have automated with Terraform and Ansible? Oh, good question. It's one of those projects that I really would love to. I would love to automate everything, and I'm currently automating my virtual machine management on Proxmox with Terraform. I've automated most of the administrative tasks in Ansible, but CI/CD pipelines. I'm searching for another automation tool here that is different than GitHub Actions, that allows me to do a bit more like customizable. And I will do a video about some of this soon, because I'm currently working on it. So there's definitely something coming about HomeLab automation. It's gonna enhance most of the projects that I've done in regards to Proxmox, Terraform, DNS, Ansible. It's gonna be really nice, but yeah, I need some time working on it, and then I'm showing you, like, once I've completed this project, my full HomeLab automation, so to automate everything that I'm doing. That will be fun. This is one of those projects that I really would love to take on, and that's where I'm investing some time the next weeks into building those automation pipelines and seeing what I can do here. Okay, well, I'm sorry if I missed a question and you really want to have to be answered. You need to put it again in the chat. No, it's not GitLab. Honestly, I'm fully settled on GitHub, and I will not move to GitLab in anyway, because I don't see a reason for it. GitHub is just fine, and I see no reason to switch to GitLab. No. And yeah, I would still recommend K3s. It's still running my main Kubernetes cluster, and it's been fine. I mean, with Kubernetes, you always run into some issues. Yeah, I can tell you about that. But overall, I would say K3s is probably like the best implementation of Kubernetes that I could find. I mean, I haven't really compared and tested many others, but yeah. GTA is still on my list. At some day it's gonna come, but not near soon, because I don't have a real demand for it in my home lab yet. But I want to focus a bit more on like self-hosted services again in my home lab. So you probably will see somewhere this year. I mean, years or just recently started. So there's a lot of time that I have, but I mostly planned out all of the projects that I want to do this year. And there are some pretty big ones, like moving to more self-hosted services. And that involves everything, right? It involves storage with Nextcloud, GitAR with Git. I could go on, like automation pipelines, CI/CD, remote network access. Like I just recently covered on NetBird, TwinGate, Teleport, those kind of things. And I'm also want to investing time into a new network architecture with Unify devices. So you will probably see a lot more Unify devices in my home lab at some day. So that's definitely on the list. So you can see I have a pretty huge list of very complicated topics and projects I want to do. But hey, I love the challenge. I want to have fun again working in my home lab. So these are some of the projects. By the way, I'm also evaluating a new serverless platform, not cloud-based, also entirely self-hosted. So that will be fun. Yeah, but hey, you need to be patient with me. There are so many projects that I have to do and not enough time. So, but this is I have in my head that I need to switch back more to the self-hosted approach and move a bit away from cloud and again do a bit more. I mean, I have this home lab here right beside me, so why not use it for running most of this stuff here at home? How do you handle redundant storage with K3s? Oh yeah, this is another topic. Honestly, I tried out Longhorn, and I absolutely hated it. It didn't run well for me. I always ran into issues with Longhorn, so I just ditched it, right? And what I'm doing right now is just NFS. NFS is just the most reliable storage option for Kubernetes, and you can do like read-write X with NFS volumes totally fine. And that's what I do in Kubernetes. So they're just like NFS shares on my TrueNAS machine, and then I'm good. I'm not doing any like of those like Longhorn, OpenEBS kind of storage solutions anymore. This is gonna kill me. So that's why I'm not using it anymore. And yeah, Zabbix is also on my list. not a high priority, to be honest. I am honest with you, but at some day I just want to have a look at it. A video about Proxmox backup and securing it from external threats would be nice. What I'm planning to do a video at some day about my storage backup strategy in general. So this is again like, I could make a video about Proxmox backup server. Yeah, but that's gonna be like a very tiny group. I mean, probably not so tiny, but it's like, it's not appealing to everyone. So I think it would be more beneficial to show you a video about my whole backup strategy. So not just Proxmox, VMs, NAS storage, offsite backup, all of that stuff that I still haven't fully in place yet, but I'm working on it. So that would, at some day, that's coming as well. Whoa. What are some of the other questions? So I'm so sorry. It's like, it's hard to keep up with all of this stuff, guys. But hey, I'm so happy and grateful that you ask all of these amazing questions. So really nice. So that tells me like a lot of you guys, we are all having the same ideas in mind, right? All of the questions that you're raising, like what about Zabbix? What about like Kubernetes storage, Proxmox, TrueNAS, all of that stuff we are talking about, or CI/CD pipelines. I have that same stuff in my head, right? It's like that's why I love these live streams so much. Yeah, I'm always feeling like I get a better like response from you guys. So what are the topics that you're interested in and so on? Do you use Pi-hole or something similar? No, don't use Pi-hole. Maybe I should. I don't know. But it's like I had a discussion with my wife just recently about ads and so on, and she's like, because she asked me once about like ads and how, like, if you're talking to a friend and like Alexa is in the same room, and the next day is you get advertisement for the stuff that you were talking about the last day with your friend, how is that happening? And I just explained to her, like, look, no, Amazon is not listening, right? At least if you're not saying the word, right? Alexa or whatever you have programmed. Unless then nobody's listening, right? So it's like more a combination of what you recently searched for, what are your interests in, and then it's somehow, sending this across different companies, and they are sharing all those personal profiles about us. And that's how you see the ads for the stuff that you're searching for, like the week before or what so. But it's not like these devices are not listening, and it just doesn't make sense, right? And then I told her, okay, well, I mean, if you're worried about ads, I mean, we could set up a pie hole. It's not a difficult task, so we could do that. And my wife, she said like, no. Sometimes I want to see ads. So sometimes I get inspiration for new products I want to buy. Sometimes there's some really interesting stuff here and there. And I thought, well, really, I never hear that from anybody. Like, most of the people are just like, they are annoyed about ads. But it's like interesting when I think about it. So sometimes when did you see an ad with something really interesting you didn't know before? I mean, there are definitely situations where I sometimes see something and I'm like, I'm not instantly buying everything, of course, but it's like at least taking a look. And I mean, of course, I want to see ads for stuff that I'm personally interested in and not just random crap. So from that perspective, I mean, there is some discussion about this, if it's actually a good thing to block everything, or if there are situations where you sometimes are not worried about it. And I mean, we do the same business here on YouTube, right? I mean, with AdSense, with brand deals and sponsorships, it's basically the same stuff, right? I mean, I wouldn't show you a sponsorship for Raid Shadow Legends, right? That is absolute crap bullshit, right? But I think you would be interested in an ad for TwinGate or NetBird or maybe, some automation tool or whatever I feel might be useful, or maybe a password manager, right? So that's why I accept those brand deals. And I feel like, well, Piehole is like, I don't want to get anything. Yeah, I just want to block everything. I don't want to see something. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a certain, I can understand why anybody wants to do that. But, yeah. Ads for Red Hat incoming. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is one of those, like, if you go in any Red Hat discussion these days, I mean, it has settled down a bit, right? Because, like, the overall discussion about Red Hat is kind of frozen right now, as I'm thinking. But, like, literally, like a few months ago, if you would be pro Red Hat, I mean, the community would just have destroyed you. So I don't see that's coming in the near future. Also, I don't think like Red Hat is gonna have like a YouTube program. But honestly, I mean, I kind of feel like, hey, if it's good advertisement, so if it's not just stupid crap, if it's a useful product, what's the problem with ads? That's how I see it, and that's why I personally I'm not so interested in Piehole. That doesn't mean that I don't do a video about it at some day, because I feel like, well, if I'm not interested in it, maybe others in the community are, so why not? But it's not the highest priority item, again. But I mean, that's like, that's a story about Piehole. I don't know. It's just, I'm always open and honest with you. These are just my thoughts about it. I mean, like a few years ago, like community would have destroyed me for saying something like that. I know, but now I have a more friendly, respectful, and established community like you guys, so I can tell this to you. And also, honestly, I haven't really told you that before, I guess, but I think like all of the hate against Red Hat, it's a bit overhyped, right? It's like I've seen like videos by other tech YouTubers hating so much on this company for what? I don't know. I mean, certainly I can understand why some people are upset, but it's like sometimes I feel like the community is being a bit too harsh and too destructive about certain aspects. So take it easy, guys, right? I mean, if you don't like Red Hat, well, I don't have a problem with that. But at the same time, when I want to use it, why not? So what's the problem? The same is when I talk about operating systems, you know? It's like Windows versus Linux versus macOS. So I don't care about this bullshit anymore. I don't care. So if anybody's telling me, I should use this and that operating system, and I'm stupid for running this and that. I just go away. Leave me alone with this crap, right? This is such a negative mindset, right? In life in general. This is like something I completely am against it, right? So why not let everybody decide on their own what they want to use, and just be a bit more friendly and a bit more respectful and say, hey, yeah, maybe you're like running Windows. Well, I like running Linux, but why not? If Windows works for you, that's fine, right? Just take it easy, guys. So that's my opinion. And Red Hat is basically the same discussion. So, I mean, I can understand why people are upset about it, but what the hell? Just let people use what they want to use. That's my opinion. That's why Broadcom jumped in to take some heat off Red Hat. I haven't followed this discussion, Christoph, to be honest. No idea. But it's like, I'm not taking this seriously anymore. I'm not following those discussions anyway, so I'm probably not up to date with this crap. I'm more interested in Pi-hole for the tracker blocking and privacy reasons, less ad blocking. Yeah, well, Corso, that's like part of the business, right? It's like this is like this like, yeah, sure. I mean, if you're interested in this, Pi-hole is probably a great solution. Why not? I'm just not so. Honestly, when I'm thinking about it, does Pi-hole really protect you from trackers and privacy standpoint? I mean, I could be totally wrong, but from my understanding, I don't see a reason why it should. I mean, this is more like these tracker blocking stuff, and privacy stuff is more like handled in the browser. And as Pi-hole is running on DNS, I'm not so confident why Pi-hole should protect you from that. Just my opinion. But hey, who knows? Maybe you guys know better. You can tell me in the chat. At the end of the day, Red Hat are a business and need to make money. Yeah, life is too short, yeah. That's why I jumped on Debian, life is too short. Yeah, sure, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone wants to make money, it's sure. I mean, it doesn't have to be the first priority, right? It's like, I mean, probably it has to be the first priority, but there is definitely a difference in company ethics, right? Obviously. Some companies are just focused on the money, some others are focused on money, but they still do it in a fair way. So I think this is where decision should go. I mean, I don't like when people are saying, oh yeah, it's a company, so that's why it has to make money, so that's why it doesn't care about anything else. That's not how it works. That's not the truth. I mean, I've spoken to CEOs from startup companies and they are very, very open and transparent about their ethics, and they really know what they're doing, and they have some philosophy. Also, companies have philosophies, right? So there are definitely differences, right? And it's not just like, sure, at the end of the day, every company wants to make money, but how the company makes money and in which ways it does it, that is very, very different, or can be different. I asked about organization self-hosting. Did you miss it, or is it off topic? No, I probably just missed it, so you can just ask it again in the chat if I overlooked it. I'm sorry. No, Drone.io. No. I mean, I am not sure. Let me take a look. This is saying me something, but I don't remember it anymore. I'm sorry. What is that? No. This is automate software build and testing. No, I've not tested it. I heard it someday, but Broadcom bought VMware, and now they cut off small to medium partner program, kill ESX3, and focus on really big business. Who knows? That's the right way. Okay. That's it about it. Oh, I completely missed that. I've just seen a meme somewhere on X that ESXi is gonna be killed. And the first thought I had was, yep, that's so Proxmox was the right decision. That was the first thought, and then I moved away from it, and I never thought about it again. But okay, that now makes sense, yeah. Does exams like CKA, HashiCorp, Terraform, vendor-specific exams like Azure will help to land a DevOps job? Currently, I don't have them. That's a good question. Well, I can't speak about those specific certificates, Flix, because I didn't take them and I never applied for a DevOps job. So take this with consciousness. But what I can tell you from my IT career is that I personally, I never needed an IT certification to land a job. And I very much see this similar to my experience coming to Sophos. Because when I moved to Sophos, nobody asked me for any certification. They asked me, what did I do? And I've said, hey, look, yeah, I've worked with Sophos devices. I went on site to customers, setting up Sophos XG firewalls and so on. No, it wasn't XG, it was UDM, I'm sorry. UDM firewalls and so on. So I know a little of Sophos, but, well, that's why I want to apply for this job here, yeah? So I'm excited about your products, I would want to learn more. And then they basically said, oh yeah, cool, yeah. So they asked me some tests, some general questions about Linux and so on, but that's it. They never asked for any certification. They just asked, so what did I do and what was my experience and so on, and that's all. And even though Sophos has certifications, right? We have certifications, the Sophos UDM engineer and architect certifications, and they cost like, I don't know, $2,000-$3,000 per certification. So they are really not, and they are not easy to pass, right? So you need to append to like a 5 days certification course and take an exam and so on. So they had like certifications for all those products, but no one actually asked me if I've taken one of them. Actually, what happened, I started to work at Sophos, and then they would let me take the exam for free. That's what happened. And I would see this very similar like in your position. If you want to like join a company and so on, and I think vendor-specific certifications won't help you, even if you're working or if you're planning to work for that particular vendor. So, I mean, you probably can get certifications for free when you're working at this company. So then take it, right? Use it as the next step for your career. But don't think that you have to take a certification exam to land a job. It's. I think who's ever going to tell you that is going to lie to you and trying to sell you subscriptions for courses. It's just the truth, man. I mean, there are certain cases where like IT certifications could help you like getting a bit ahead of other competitors and so on. But honestly, I mean, the IT landscape, the IT industry is not saturated at all. I mean, we are constantly searching for IT experts. So, and like, well, you are in a pretty good position even without exam, right? The only thing that I'm saying, you need to get some experience. And even if it's just setting up a stupid home lab, that's totally fine. I mean, I went to my first interview and said, hey, I'm playing around with this at home. I had some LAN parties with people. If you remember, LAN parties were a thing like in the early 2000s and so on, right? So, and I was the guy who was setting up the network. So I connected all the computers so we could play games together. And that was a story I told for my first interview, appending to trying to get my first job in IT. And sure, I mean, that's not an impressive certificate, but it was like, okay, this guy is passionate about technology. He wants to understand how things work and so on. And that's like what it comes down to, right? Obviously, I mean, if you're taking a next career step, like getting into DevOps, it's a totally different discussion, yeah? So don't let you fool me. Don't let me fool you, right? It's really a whole lot of different conversation depending on what is your current expertise. But what it highlights is that it's not just about what it is on paper. It's about if you can tell a good story, if you have some experience gathered somewhere, this is always making up a better story than someone who has graduated and I'm so good at school and I know about math and I'm the best IT guy. Look, we had one person coming from university, and he was so intelligent, and he studied like math and so on. And he studied information technology, right? So like someone who is in that field. And he started to work for the company, and I said to him, yeah, go to this Windows server and set up a static IP address. And he told me, so, how do I set up a static IP address? And I say, dude, you want to fool me, man? So, I mean, you're coming from university, you know what an IP address is and how you configure a static IP address in Windows, right? No, he didn't know that. And I, I literally needed to explain it to him, right? And so I say, like, well, education, like certification, theoretical knowledge is one thing, but experience is something different, guys. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Yeah, do your home lab. Yeah, do your home lab. That's the best thing you can do for your IT career. Obviously. So okay, great. I don't know how much time we got left. I mean, I usually target to play for an hour, and then I'm having to take care of family and so on. But yeah, well, let me read one or two more questions and see where we go from there. What components would you add to a Proxmox server for video transcoding? But it's probably gonna be a GPU. Honestly, I've not done much with video transcoding, to be honest, so I can't really tell you, but it's gonna be a good graphics card, I suppose. Moft, want to drop in and say thanks for all your content. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad that it helps you, man. So thanks for supporting me. It's because you are located in Germany. In other countries, you for network engineer security roles is a must have. Yeah, maybe that's yeah. I know what you mean. Maybe it is. But look, I can just speak for myself. I can just speak from my own experience. And I love to give advice to people based on that experience, if it's not true. Or if it's not applicable to other countries, well, but I would doubt that it is different somewhere else. I mean, it's like probably certifications are a bit more important in certain roles. But that's what I said. The more and more you get advanced in IT, it's getting more difficult, obviously. Yeah, and certifications might be useful if you want to specialize in a certain career point. But I would say, like, the question was about vendor-specific certifications, so that's why I said, well, vendor-specific certifications, I don't see as useful as like non-vendor-specific certifications. That's the first thing. And if it's for landing a job, I mean, the certification is not really the where it comes down to. I mean, obviously, some HR people might see that differently. Can be the case. But I think it's also depending on who you're talking to, right? I mean, the one company might require certain certifications, the other company doesn't care. I mean, it's totally different if you're trying to apply for a job in a startup company as if for an enterprise company, right? There are so many different cases, like, so and I feel I always found it to be most helpful and more useful to tell people, hey, look, it all comes down to what your experience, rather than, hey, do this, do that. It might apply to certain roles, yeah, sure, but I think more generally speaking, the experience is the most important thing, right? It's not just a single certification. I mean, you can prove me wrong, right? Bring up some HR guy in IT who's hired like 1,000 people, and he's saying like, "Hey, Christian, you're talking stupid shit. I don't hire anyone who has not this certification." Well, I don't know, but I've never spoken to any expert in IT who told me that, well, you need to have this certification, you need to have that certification. That's really just my opinion. If you're bored and like a challenge, get a Palo Alto. Oh, no. No. That's not something I want to do, honestly. It's like, I know, I never touched these machines, but I know they are freaking complex, so no. What do you think about VMware move stopping support free ESXi, more Proxmox installation? Phew. Well, if you would be like a YouTuber who likes to create training videos, I suppose it could be a great idea to make a video how to move from ESXi to Proxmox. But look, I'm not this YouTuber, so I'm not going to do that. I leave that for other people. So that's really like, I don't know. I mean, I also thought a lot about if I should make a Proxmox tutorial, but I came up with a better idea. About Proxmox. And this is, I'm not gonna tell you now, because then you're waiting for it, but I have some project ideas with Proxmox that I prefer to be more valuable to you guys than making a Proxmox tutorial that everybody knows already about. So that's why I feel, yeah, Proxmox, there's gonna be like a few more topics that might be interesting for you guys. You can probably guess what it is. I mean, the experienced Proxmox users will probably gonna tell what I mean. But yeah. I don't want to promise anything, and then yeah, the next videos you're not seeing a Proxmox video, so you need to be patient with me as always. And no, I didn't work with Git submodules yet, to be honest. Okay, well, twin gate or tailscale? That's really, Michael, look, this is really like, for me personally, these are two completely separate types of products. This is like twin gate is a zero trust network access tool, and tailscale is a peer-to-peer VPN solution. So it's like, it's not twin gate versus tailscale. It's about, so how much security and how much complexity do you need or require in your HomeLab? So do you need zero trust, like secure authentication, posture checks, policies and compliance settings in your HomeLab? Well, tailscale won't help you. So then it's like a decision between like twin gate versus Cloudflare Tunnel, or twin gate versus Netbird, or whatever. Or maybe even twin gate versus Teleport, something like that. So there are a couple of solutions. You could even think about Sophos ZTNA, if anyone wants to use it. But tailscale, you probably could compare more to zero tier, or I don't know, self-hosted WireGuard server, whatever. This is like, Palo Alto is less complex to use than any open source software without documentation. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's a good argument, because I feel like any open source software without documentation is absolute hell. I mean, it's like, open source software most of the time looks like it was created by developers for developers and not for end users. Which is like, it's already complex, and when it's not documented, I mean, what could be worse? I really can just not imagine many products that could be worse to set up. So I don't know. I just heard that Palo Alto is kind of like, I mean, I once compared like feature-wise like Palo Alto with Sophos XG, and I know, whoa, these guys are really taking it to a next level, so it's kind of hard. And Palo Alto is definitely more like the enterprise field type of solution. And that's why I considered it to more complex. I don't know if it is from a user perspective, right? I don't care about that. But in terms of complex, I mean feature-wise. So that means like it is a pretty complex product that has a lot of things, and so that's what it makes it complex. Not like if it is easy to set up or not. Okay, well, I'm sorry I can't take any other questions because I have to go. But it was a good live stream. There's a lot of great questions, guys. And someday I feel like we probably need to make a dedicated live stream about like the community and Discord and tech projects and help needed chat in the Discord. And let's do it next week. I'm currently wondering. So what else could be interesting to do next week? I don't know. No, I think that's a good topic. Let's do that next week. I want to highlight some of those community projects. And thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, if you're still in here and still watching, join the Patreon program. Support me with all of the free content that I'm creating here. Join the Discord. Let's have a chat about it. And yeah, if you have any requests or topics that you'd like me to cover in upcoming live streams, Discord is the best place to throw it in. And of course, the Patreon community. So thank you guys for your support. You're amazing. And have a wonderful weekend. And I speak to you soon. Maybe next week in the live stream. So I'm gonna go. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.